Hello everybody, welcome to our Bible Talk video entitled The Dream of Good and Evil. In this video I'm going to share with you all a dream that I had not too long ago. In the Bible it says in Joel 2:28 that in Acts 2:17 that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your people shall prophesy, and your young men shall have dreams, and your young men shall have visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And so we know that according to the Word of God, there are dreams and visions from heaven. And in this particular dream that I had, I saw two riders riding in the same direction. And they both looked like Dalmatians. They each had equal spots of white and black, just like a Dalmatian. And they started out riding in the same direction, and they had equal spots of white and black. And there's also a statue with a bow that is shooting at them, and they both have armor, and they're using the armor to defend themselves from the arrows. One rider, the rider on the right, begins to turn dark black, and his spots that are white disappear, and the black spots become more and more frequent, and eventually he becomes completely black. And when he does become completely black, he stops his horse, and he gets off the horse as if he's lost his direction, and he kind of looks around lost, and he kind of just messes around and doesn't really know what he's doing, and the statue with the bow ends up shooting at him, and he falls over and dies. Now the rider on the left, he has his spots start to turn white, and so he loses his black spots, and his white spots begin to become more frequent, and eventually he becomes all white, and he keeps riding in the same direction. He uses his shield to block the arrows as the statue shoots at him, and as he becomes closer and closer to the statue, he draws his sword, and when he gets to the statue, he lops the head off of the statue, and that is the end of the dream. So what is the interpretation? Well, it's an analogy of good and evil. The white spots represent good, and the black spots represent evil. When we are born into the world, we have equal parts good and equal parts evil. Now, the rider on the right, the rider that turned all black, he became caught up with all the worries of the world. And his black spots, his evil spots, overwhelmed the good, and eventually he became evil. And he lost sight of where he was going because of his evil. And the statue, which is the devil, who shoots fiery darts at us and tries to kill us, be on your guard, self-controlled and alert, because your adversary the devil prowls about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, 1 Peter 5:8. He wasn't doing any resisting. He wasn't trying to resist the devil. He actually just lost his direction and forgot all about the devil. And while he was just doing his own thing, messing around, not even riding anymore, he got shot full of arrows and he died. And he died in his evil, and he was nothing but blackness at that point, nothing but black spots, no more white. Now, the rider on the left, he had the same amount of good and evil spots, but he continued riding, and he kept his direction. And his goodness overwhelmed the evil, because he washed himself in the blood of the Lamb, and he continued forth in righteousness, and he kept riding, fighting the good fight, finishing the race, keeping the faith, and he kept riding forward until eventually he got to his adversary, the devil, and he took off the sword of the Spirit, and he lopped off the head of the devil, and he went on to spend eternity in the kingdom of heaven. So that's the example. It's the example of good and evil. White and black spots, we all have equal spots, white and black, but if we lose ourselves in the world, then we become like the rider who becomes nothing but evil and blackness. or we can keep our direction, keep moving forward in faith, and we can defeat the devil and block his arrows and cut off his head, and we can become creatures of the light for the sake of our Father in heaven. So that's the dream of good and evil. So this has been our Bible Talk video, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening.